Are you tired of staring at empty walls while dreaming of a lush garden? Do you find yourself throwing away materials that could have a second life in your outdoor space? Today, we're going to transform your perspective on both gardening and recycling by showing you how to create a stunning vertical garden using materials you might otherwise toss in the trash. This isn't just about saving money or reducing waste, it's about creating something beautiful, functional, and deeply satisfying with your own hands. Vertical gardening has revolutionized how we think about growing spaces, especially for urban dwellers and anyone dealing with limited square footage. Instead of expanding outward, we're going upward, turning bare walls into living canvases that produce food, purify air, and create natural beauty. When you combine this innovative growing method with recycled materials, you're not just gardening, you're making a statement about sustainability while creating something uniquely yours. The magic of vertical gardening extends far beyond simply saving space, though that benefit alone makes it worthwhile for most gardeners. When you build upward, you're maximizing every inch of available area, turning a narrow balcony, small patio, or even an indoor wall into a productive growing zone. This approach allows you to grow significantly more plants in the same footprint, making it possible to have a diverse garden even in the smallest spaces. But the benefits run deeper than spatial efficiency. Vertical gardens create stunning visual impact, transforming bland walls into living art installations that change with the seasons. They improve air quality around your home, provide natural insulation that can help regulate temperature, and create microclimates that can extend growing seasons. For urban gardeners especially, vertical growing systems offer a way to reconnect with nature and food production without requiring a traditional yard. The psychological benefits are equally compelling. There's something deeply satisfying about looking up at a wall covered in thriving plants that you've grown yourself. It creates a sense of accomplishment and connection to the natural world that's hard to replicate with store-bought produce or artificial decorations. The beauty of building a vertical garden from recycled materials lies in the creative possibilities that emerge from everyday discarded items. Wooden pallets stand out as one of the most versatile options, offering natural durability and a rustic aesthetic that complements most outdoor spaces. When selecting pallets, look for those marked with HT, heat-treated, rather than MB, methyl bromide, as the latter involves chemical treatment that you don't want near your plants. The natural spacing between pallet slats creates perfect pockets for planting, and the wood develops a beautiful weathered patina over time. Old tires present another excellent option, particularly for larger plants or creating striking geometric patterns. While some gardeners worry about chemicals leaching from tires, research has shown that this concern is largely unfounded when tires are used for growing ornamental plants or above-ground food crops. The rubber provides excellent insulation for plant roots, protecting them from temperature fluctuations, and the circular shape creates natural drainage when positioned properly. Plastic bottles and containers offer perhaps the most accessible starting point for beginners, as they're lightweight, easy to work with, and available in virtually every household. 2-liter soda bottles work particularly well for herbs and smaller vegetables, while larger containers like milk jugs or detergent bottles can accommodate more substantial root systems. The key is ensuring these containers are thoroughly cleaned and free from any chemical residues. Large plastic storage containers, old gutters, and even worn-out fabric organizers can be repurposed into effective growing systems. The critical factor in material selection isn't just availability, it's matching the material to your specific growing goals and environmental conditions. The transformation from discarded material to thriving garden component requires careful preparation that sets the foundation for long-term success. Begin by thoroughly cleaning all materials with a mild soap solution, paying particular attention to removing any labels, adhesive residues, or chemical contaminants. This step isn't just about aesthetics, it's about ensuring your plants have the cleanest possible growing environment. For wooden pallets, sand down any rough edges or splinters that could pose safety hazards during maintenance. Apply a food-safe wood sealant if you plan to grow edible crops, or leave the wood natural if you prefer the weathered look that develops over time. The key modification involves creating planting pockets by attaching landscape fabric or burlap to the back and bottom of each slat opening, forming pouches that will hold your growing medium while allowing proper drainage. Tire preparation involves a different approach but follows the same principles of cleanliness and functionality. Drill drainage holes every 6 to 8 inches around the bottom circumference, ensuring water can escape freely while retaining enough moisture for plant health. If you're stacking tires to create height, ensure each level is stable and properly aligned to prevent collapse as plants mature and add weight. When working with plastic containers, the most critical step involves creating adequate drainage. Use a heated nail or drill to create multiple holes in the bottom of each container, spacing them evenly to prevent waterlogging while maintaining structural integrity. For bottle systems, you'll also want to create openings for planting. Typically, a rectangular window cut into one side of each bottle, leaving enough material around the edges for stability. Creating an effective vertical garden requires thinking three-dimensionally about plant placement, water flow, and maintenance access. Start by considering the mature size of your chosen plants and arranging them so larger specimens don't overshadow smaller ones. This typically means placing trailing plants like cherry tomatoes or strawberries near the top, where they can cascade downward, while keeping compact herbs and lettuces in more accessible lower positions. Water management becomes crucial in vertical systems since gravity works both for and against you. Design your system so water flows from the top down, allowing upper plants to benefit first while excess moisture travels to lower levels. This cascade effect means you can actually reduce overall watering needs while ensuring even distribution. Consider installing a simple drip irrigation system using recycled plastic tubing and small holes to create consistent moisture delivery. The success of your recycled vertical garden depends heavily on choosing plants that thrive in vertical growing conditions and confined root spaces. Herbs like basil, thyme, oregano, and parsley excel in vertical systems, offering high yields in small spaces while providing fresh flavors for your kitchen. Leafy greens such as lettuce, spinach, and kale adapt well to the limited root space typical of recycled container systems. For edible options with more visual impact, consider cherry tomatoes, small pepper varieties, and trailing strawberries. These plants provide both food and ornamental value while being naturally suited to container growing. If your vertical garden receives less direct sunlight, focus on shade-tolerant options like ferns, hostas, or begonias for purely ornamental displays. The growing medium you choose directly impacts plant health and system longevity. A lightweight potting mix combined with compost provides excellent drainage while retaining necessary moisture and nutrients. Avoid using garden soil, which becomes too heavy when wet and may contain pests or diseases that can quickly spread through your vertical system. Maintaining a vertical garden built from recycled materials requires developing routines that keep both plants and structures healthy over time. Regular inspection of your recycled components helps identify wear, deterioration, or damage before it becomes problematic. Wooden elements may need periodic treatment or replacement, while plastic components should be checked for cracks or UV damage that could compromise their integrity. Watering techniques need adjustment for vertical systems as water tends to flow quickly through elevated containers. Alright, so when it comes to watering, it's important to do it slowly and thoroughly. You want to make sure each level really absorbs the moisture before it flows down to the next. Now, watering in the early morning is a great idea. It reduces evaporation and gives plants plenty of time to soak up the moisture before the day's heat really kicks in. Now let's talk about fertilization. In vertical systems, it often requires more frequent and lighter applications. This is because with regular watering, nutrients can wash through pretty quickly, so you might want to consider using slow-release organic fertilizers or even compost tea to keep those nutrients available for your plants. Building a vertical garden from recycled materials represents more than just a gardening project. It's a statement about creativity, sustainability, and the potential for transformation that exists all around us. Every thriving plant in your vertical system represents waste diverted from landfills, resources conserved, and a small but meaningful step toward more sustainable living. The satisfaction that comes from harvesting fresh herbs or vegetables from a structure you built with your own hands using materials destined for disposal creates a connection to your food and environment that's increasingly rare in our modern world. You've created something beautiful and functional while demonstrating that sustainability and productivity can go hand in hand. Your recycled vertical garden will continue evolving and improving over time, offering opportunities for expansion, experimentation, and sharing with others who are inspired by your example. Document your journey, celebrate your successes, and don't be afraid to share both your triumphs and learning experiences with fellow gardeners. We'd love to see your recycled vertical garden creations. Share photos and videos of your projects, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more innovative gardening solutions that prove you don't need expensive equipment or perfect conditions to grow amazing plants. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest sustainable gardening tips, and share this video with anyone who could use more green in their life.